Hey, good morning. It's time for coffee talk. I've got the cup French roast this morning. It's actually a beautiful morning here in Florida. Unfortunately, I have to do some yard work after this, so I'll drag this out as long as possible. Of course, it's what 7 in the morning because we fell back. Fantastic, we fell back. So if I go out and start the mower right now, I think I would have some upset neighbors, especially on a Sunday morning. So that's a good thing. I have a bit of a 2 hour shield before I have to start. All right, man. Channel news. What's been going on? I streamed yesterday. We gave away 6 codes for rentals for the ROM Panzer, so that was cool. A lot of you guys came by. Thanks. That was a nice stream. I enjoyed that. Didn't do particularly well, but I did enjoy that stream. Everybody was hanging out, having a good time on a Saturday, and then I went and did a slight pub crawl, which was nice. Hence my slightly late start this morning. But that was nice. We are getting some interesting little pubs and tap rooms here in Panama City. And a particular area called St. Andrews actually is starting to grow up with that stuff, and it's really pretty cool. My next stream will be Tuesday, so 2 days from now on November 5th, I believe, 0900 to 1200. That's the plan anyway. Those are always subject to change with my life. Scavenger hunt for November has started. You may have seen my video yesterday. That was my first submission for the scavenger hunt. Make sure you're getting the codes, putting them in, play your game, collect all the codes. We'll go over what you get here in just a minute, but it's pretty standard. Well, should we get into the first controversy? See, I went positive on my scavenger hunt video, but we're going to talk a little bit negative and controversy, and then we're going to get back to positive when we get to the end of this. As of right now, you only get the experience and crew experience bonuses. You are not getting the credit boosters. And I do not know if that is by design or a mistake, and neither does apparently Domo yet. It has to be said, if I'm honest, and I will be honest, that from what I can tell, and I'm no insider, but I have a little bit more of a view of it than you guys, that the way the home office treats the NA office is not good. I don't have actual specifics, but I'm just kind of watching how things go down, what they have to ask for, how many times things don't get sorted out in time or are done like this, either a mistake or by design. Maybe somebody decided no longer are you going to get the credit boosters, but the NA office doesn't know right now. And it's not. This is not the only example right there. So it's a little bit. Well, you could get into speculation and all that, and I got my own ideas, so I'm going to leave them unsaid. But it is let me just say that it's an interesting thing to watch, and it is a great case study in large international corporations and how different offices and places are run, or how they are treated. I guess more specifically, not how they're run, how they are treated by the home offices. I find it to be really interesting, and I watch this one about as close as I can because I'm doing the CC thing. So, and I'm not poking any eyes or throwing any grenades or anything like that, but it's there, right? It is. It's there, plain for anybody to see, and I think it's kind of strange. But there you go. Do not know if the credit boosters are going to show back up. I hope they do. That is going to decrease the usefulness of, obviously, of the scavenger hunt stuff. And of course, if we find out that it's been taken out in the forums, they're gonna go crazy, right? Everyone's the echo chamber that is the forum is going to go crazy, especially because they're going to see it as a backdoor poke in the eye because nobody told them that was happening. So just wait for it, wait for it. All right. Lots of great submissions coming in from everybody. Thank you very much. The support of the channel has been awesome lately. I talked about that several weeks or months ago. I'm not going to get into it again and bore you to death, but thank you so much. I just wanted to throw that out to everybody because it's been amazing. That being said, I've got a lot of submissions and obviously one video a day. So if you don't see your thing, I try to get back to everybody and take a look at everything you send me. I appreciate it because there's some awesome games coming in. There's some great learning games coming in. So I will try my best to reply, and I do try to reply to all of the YouTube comments. Sometimes some slip by here and there. I at least click on it and say I read it. So let's back that off a little bit. I try to read them all, if not reply. As of right now, I can do that. Okay. Missions and specials. Let's move on. This feels like kind of the calm before the storm right now. As I was researching this, there's not a whole bunch going on. I mean, there's a lot going on, but not a lot going on, if you know what I mean. We have a lot of different little things all kind of cruising along, tank rewards, scavenger hunt, stuff that we've been doing for a few months, and that's in the background cruising along. But as far as big events or whatever, this feels like kind of a downtime. Well, Halloween was canceled, so we'll talk about that one just a little while later. We'll talk about that one a little while later. One thing that is going on is tear down the Berlin Wall. Mr. Gorbachev, open this gate. Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall. President Reagan. Pretty amazing moment in history, and I were alive when it happened, by the way. I remember that distinctly. In fact, I was 20 bloody years old when that happened. Holy cow. That's incredible. Anyway, so what's going to happen is you go through these missions. We'll get to that in a minute. And then you'll see a visual destruction of the wall for, I don't know, however many X missions it takes to put another shot into it. That's actually kind of cool. You know what? It's not a huge, big thing, but that's a fun little thing in the background. I kind of like that. Okay, what do? You have to tear down this wall. You have to activate, by the way. Before you can tear down the wall, you must activate a code. That's not very rebellious, is it? If I'm going to tear down a wall, I don't really want to have to activate a code, right? That's the man telling you have to do something before you can get crazy. All right. You get some fire extinguishers. You need to be in the top 7 in a victorious battle. Thank you, win requirement. Yay. All vehicles, randoms, are repeatable. 2 Berlins. Get a day of Watt Premium if you're in the top 7. And I think you have to do these first. We can look at that somewhere else. Now, the interesting thing about this is you can also get an extra mission if you own the Raumpanzer. Which means these extra missions have to be done with the Raumpanzer. But the problem is, not the problem. For me, the silliness, I guess, is you do this, you get a token. I think you need 7 of them. Yeah, 7 leaflet tokens. And you get a medal. Oh, man. I'm kind of curious, actually. A little puberty hit me right there. Kind of curious, how many of you hunt these medals? I'm not scoffing it necessarily, but are there people who actually love collecting the medals? What if there was some kind of reward for X number of medals that you collected? Or X number of ribbons, or whatever the different types are, that they're like hidden rewards. Like at 100, you got 20 large kits or something. What if they kind of baked some of that stuff in there? That would be pretty cool. And then it would make collecting these things interesting. Because I don't know anybody, and I suppose they're out there, and that's cool. I mean, if that's your thing. But when you give me 7 missions and the end result is a medal, I mean, it's interesting, but why? What is that? I don't get it. All right. Tank rewards is also going on. Military Appreciation Month also. So make sure that you have, I think is there a code for this? I don't remember. But this one's pretty easy because, well, there's another problem with it. Let me just tell you why it's pretty easy. It's pretty easy because it goes from 1 November to 26 November. That's 25 days. The end reward is only 2,200 points. So you'd have to do 22 days of the 25, so you can miss 3. In addition to that, the top thing is worth 100 points. So hence you only have to do this 22 times. And the good news is there's these other make the top 10. And this is interesting. Tier 2 to 5, researchable vehicles only. I like that. I think that's great. That actually caused me a little bit of an issue because I kept getting these wins and I wasn't getting these things tripped, but I was playing premiums. I like missions for researchable only. It kind of makes them interesting as far as they have to be used, right? Make the top 5 is going to be tier 6 and 8, and then it goes up. Make the top 3, tier 9 and 10. And they're all worth 50, I believe, or does it go? No, 50, 20, and 10? Yeah, okay. So there's another Math and Public's 80 points a day that you can get. So you can really burn this out pretty quick. Now, if you're a veteran and you've done the ID me or whatever it is, the Veterans ID thing, and linked the account and all that good stuff, which a lot of us have, In theory, you can do the Salute Victory, which is tier 2 and higher. And you can actually do it in randoms, grand battles, skirmishes, advances. Verified military, only you're supposed to get another 100. Well, I've played 2 days, and I currently have 300. And I've done a couple of these other ones as well, the top 3 and top 5. So apparently right now, the veteran thing is not working. If it is working, I'm completely missing something, but I cannot figure out for the life of me what it might be. I think that this just isn't working. So I don't know if now sometimes the linking stuff gets goofed up on this. I don't know if now I'm not linked for some reason. I'll be honest, I have no idea what's going on with this. I'll try to dig into it. If anybody has any idea, go ahead and put it down in the description, or I keep saying the description, in the comments. What I really think is happening here is it's just broken, not working. I have sent that information into the community, guys. A lot of people have said it on the forum, and I think there's plenty of tickets in on it. So unknown right now, guys. I don't know. Okay. Now, hold on while I go find something here. So here's something I haven't paid a whole lot of attention to, the Forge. Some of you guys may be doing this, and this is for you creative type guys and gals. If you look down here, it says free stuff from the Forge. That piques my interest. Free stuff. Click on it, and it talks about, they do contests, and you just do a submission into the forum, or actually send it in via an email. I think as well, I believe it's actually an email. There it is, from the Forge at wargaming.net. It's right there. So click on that link and then come into this, and it'll tell you. Basically, it's doing drawings and all kinds of different artsy kind of things that they're asking about. But the prizes tend to be pretty good. As a matter of fact, last month there were exactly 3 entries. Everybody wins something. This time it's a TL1 LPC. Bunch of boosters in 3 days. Second place is any tier 6 vehicle that you want. A bunch of boosters and 3 days of WOT, and then honorable mention gives you 3 days of WOT and a bunch of boosters. Just for if you're a drawing kind of person. Now, I think this is what has to be done this week. It's a little bit... See, this one says oil on canvas painting of a TL1 LPC using actual oil from the TL1 LPC. I don't understand that. Where am I supposed to get that? I believe that's just funny, right? It's supposed to be funny, and then you're doing an oil painting, and but I don't understand. Do I have to use oil? Or it says oil on canvas? I don't... Crazy Boop, I don't understand what you're talking about, man. I think that's just being funny, and it's basically doing oil on canvas of a TL1 LPC. Probably bonus points for doing it in actual motor oil or something. But a Rompanzer-inspired prog rock album. I hope they don't mean that you need to do the whole music. I'm assuming it's the art for the cover. WOT-themed poker, Tankers Hold'em. Designed WOT-themed poker cards, I assume. Anyway, there you go. Easy way, I think, anyway, if you are artisty at all. If you click onto here, you go to the thread, and I'll show you the winners from the last time they did it. Pretty cool painting somebody did, some tanks. Not really sure what they are. Chieftains? I think they're chieftains, right? And then somebody got serious about this model. Look at this thing. That's pretty awesome. And then we've got, looks like someone did a 3D rendering of a, whatever that is. Don't know what that is. Then I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to enter my my Tiger tank here. I'll just enter this, which I made probably about 2 years ago. Painted it what, gray, and then never touched it again. Anyway, there you go. Might be an easy way if you're an arty kind of person to win a prize. All right, where are we? Oh, we're going to now go over and we're going to talk about what you can buy. What you can buy. Get your wallets out, folks. Man, it's not much going on, really, to be honest, in the store. The Rompanzer is still around, so if you want that, I don't know how long. Does it say 11 days? There you go. You got 11 days. These gold specials are pretty standard. The Reveloris is in the shop, as is the Sturv. There's not a whole lot to say about the gold, folks. It's the same stuff we've been looking at. We talked about those Salute gold packs are actually a pretty darn good deal. Premium account, nothing really going on there. Although remember, you've got, look how many, do I still have that many? I had about 8. I had like 8 coupons the other day. Nope, now I'm down to 4. Probably exaggerated. I easily had 6. So a couple of them dropped off. I get emails every now and again telling me I need to hurry up and use my coupon or it will expire. I need some gold, man. I need some gold. I don't know what's going to go on for Christmas. No, again, no SA. It's Cricketsville, right? Cricketsville. Much like the cancellation of Halloween. Wargaming canceled Halloween and I just sat in my house and cried. The Salute packages with all these tanks. I would really love to know. Anybody buy that? Anyone watching, anyone who watches me, anyone buy this? Veterans buy this pack of just, what, 21, 16, or 12 tanks? Anyone purchase that? I'm curious. Let me know. Type 62 is in the shop. That's a nice little Tier 7 premium light tank. I enjoy that. It used to be one of the best. I'd say it's good now, but I don't know if I'd necessarily call it one of the best premium light tanks out there now. And then specials wise, same stuff, man. Just really nothing going on. I've been surprised, a little bit surprised at how long this exclusive. This must mean this is something exclusive to me. I'm not sure what it is that trips those, whether it's Twitch Prime or what. Probably Twitch Prime, I guess, because the T26E5 was the one of the rentals or whatever you could get from the Twitch Prime thing. So not everybody sees the same thing on their store. All right, so like I said, not a whole lot going on sales-wise right there. Not a whole lot going on. Let's move on to subjects du jour. Oh, I'm such a liar. I totally lied. We're going to go to the missions first. So here we are on the missions tab. What's on the events? Maybe there's some... Oh, nothing. No specials. All right, sometimes you get a little SA if you click on that every once in a while, that something's coming up because it will go live. Scavenger hunt, this is the same stuff, guys. So remember you got the 2 cards and you've got to click on the one and you find out that I have collected 2 tokens, and then you have to click on this one and you'll find out that I have completed 1 of the 2. Remember, so, oh man, how can they not just put that on this? At least the completed is right here. I can just look at this and go, okay, I've completed 1. I have to click on something to find out how many codes I have done. Completed 0 of 1. Oh, what? Oh, 0 of this whole card. I still don't know how many I have. And then I go like this, and I'm like, oh, I have 2. I have 2 of 31 tokens. Oh, man. What on earth? Come on. This has been going on forever. This is really ridiculous. UI, guys. It is. It's asinine. It's so bad. It is so beyond bad. It's not even, it's a meme now. It's entered into, you're doing it on purpose. You really are. It can't be this bad. It just can't. All right, let's get out of here. Let's get out. Go away, scavenger hunt. All right. Berlin Wall. Berlin Wall. Here it is. That's where you get, this was the other thing I was looking at this morning, and I had the same thought as the scavenger hunt. I clicked on this because I was over at the website, and I said, all right, well, what do I get if I do these 7 Raumpanzer? So here they are, and then I get I get a leaflets token. Okay, that's cool. And then Reunited is supposed to be the finish of it, and then it says, what is that little symbol anyway? I don't know what that is. Fight a battle to claim your reward. A shell token. What's the shell token have to do with it? Nothing. That's what. It has nothing to do with it. It's just there. What do I get? I get a... That should... I get... No, I need 7 of those. I knew that. And I get... I don't know what I get. I know because I was on the website, but I had to go to the website and click on another link, and then go through the. Go away, Berlin Wall. You can get a day of premium. That's actually pretty cool. But it's 50. Holy macaroni! 50 wins in the top 7 to get a day of premium. It's better than nothing. All right, when's that go to? November 9th. So get on it. You only have 6 days to knock it out. Tank Mastery is pretty standard. Do I care about any of these? I don't know. This is actually not bad. That's the big tier 9 German. That might be fun. What do you get? Yeah, you get the Mastery Doofers. Applied to vehicle. Oh, that's how many I have. No, that's how many you get. Huh. I don't know. ×3 crew is this week. That's a good deal. Who is that person who has been playing the King Tiger Captured through this entire series since it was put out, what, 3 months ago? Because that's what's required to open up all this stuff. Who is that guy? You know there's that guy out there somewhere. The guy who has made it his mission in life to finish every one of these every month's India, Juliet, Hotel. When did it come out? Golf? I don't know if it was Golf or Hotel that this thing came out, but somewhere around there. I need to know who that guy is. Who has finished every single one of these? Play your vehicle right. These are actually pretty good deals. They just kind of happen while you play the tank. You do have to sort of pay attention to some of them just to make sure you get it knocked out. But as a general rule, if you sit down and play mediums for a bunch, then you're probably going to knock out most of the missions for it. And you get equipment at the end of most of it. And then there's this experience thing as well, which is nice. So really for a grind, this is nice to be on top of a grind. So you're grinding a medium tank or whatever the case may be, whichever class. And you're playing that tank, playing it. Pay attention to this a little bit and go, all right, what do I need for the next one? Because you'll get some equipment and then you're going to get that 10,000 experience dumped on it, and that's going to help your grind. Add to that the ×3 thing or whatever that you do 5 times a day, some personal reserves. I'm not telling you, grinding now is as easy as it has ever been. Now, it's a valid question to ask if you really want to grind tech tree tanks. That's an entirely different subject. Here's the tank reward stuff. Victory Battle, top 10, top 5, top 3. But guess what? Salute, or whatever the other one is not here. I'm wondering if that's the problem, that the card isn't here for it. So the game isn't noticing that it is tripped. You know what I'm saying? Or perhaps I'm not linked anymore, which I don't know why I wouldn't be, but who knows? There you go. I'll have to delve into that a little bit. I'm not sure what's going on with that. Other missions and premium missions are all standard. Okie dokie. Now we're on to subjects du jour. You know what? I'm going to go make another copy. I'm going to make a copy of my coffee. You do the same. I'll be right back. All right. I got the fresh cup. Nice and hot. So I went positive on my scavenger hunt video that we did. That was yesterday. Got a lot of great responses. We have a contest going on for the Rompanzer that I have to give away, and the contest is on that video, put in the thing that you love about WOT, the one thing you like the most about World of Tanks, and keep it positive. And then I'll pick the best one and somebody will win a Rompanzer. I'll give away some codes along the way as well for T14s, things like that. So that was fun, and I got a lot of great responses going positive because there's a lot of negativity. Obviously there always is. But so I'm going to go slightly the other way because I was sitting down while I was looking at all this research for today, and there's a reason why I have the 705 up here. There's a new Russian auto-loading heavy tank at tier 9 that's showing up in Super Test, and I don't talk too much. I certainly talk a lot about not talking about Super Test tanks, don't I? So maybe I just get rid of that. I guess the point of that is I don't do reviews off of Super Test, and I don't try to go crazy and start the hype train. But I looked at the stats. I usually don't. I did. I shouldn't have, because it immediately got my blood boiling a little bit, or my heart rate up a bit. You know, that one vein on the forehead just starts... Because once I looked at the stats, I started digging around my other tier 9s. Now, it's a heavy tank, but I was also looking at some of the mediums. Because when I looked at this thing's stats, and it happens to be called the 752, Object 752. When I looked at this thing's stats, I went, that looks like a medium with heavy armor and a heavy gun. And oh, by the way, it's an autoloader, in case you didn't know. Granted, it's on Super Test. The numbers can change completely. I got it 100%. But I'm just sort of looking at this going, all right, you know, the arms race, right? The race to the top with the next overpowered tank, the next premium. it's really starting to accelerate, isn't it? You know, I mean, it's been the accelerator's been down. This is kind of like a turbocharger at this point. You know, the old ones in the '90s where you could stomp on the gas. Everybody ever drive an old Ford Probe from the '90s? You'd stomp on the gas, and it would sort of get going. But then once it started, the turbo started to kick off and shove enough air and fuel in that thing, it would just eventually start pushing you back. But it was always that kind of slow acceleration, and then it would just like slingshot you. That's kind of a turbo thing anyway, but they really made it much better. We're getting off on a complete tangent right there, but my buddy had a '90s Probe. It was awesome. It was a complete piece of junk, but it was a fast piece of junk. So yeah, the arms race is just, it really is getting a little bit nutty. And I'm kind of looking at this 752 and I'm thinking, well, aren't we trying to do something with the ammo right now? Why are you even designing new tanks to put in, to be quite honest? I know there's a there's a design process and you have to start at some point, but all of that really, in my mind, should be on hold right now. If you're really serious about this big ammo rebalance, which I assume is going to take an armor rebalance at some point, I think it's crazy if you think you're just going to wiggle around the ammo and everything will be fine. I think that's a lot why, unfortunately, they're talking about damage balancing instead of actual pen balancing, which is what they need. Because the pen balancing opens up another can of worms of ammo balancing, and I don't think they want to go there. It's probably too much work, but that's really what the game needs. I don't think we're going to get it. But at the same time, I'm wondering why we are developing tanks like this for the game when we haven't even finished this ammo rebalance thing. Just my 2 cents on it. I don't know. What do you guys think? I think the answer, obviously, from a corporation the size of Wargaming with a game like this would be, well, we've got to keep things are in the pipeline. We got to keep them moving. If we stop them, then we're going to get a big gap, and then it's bad for the game. Well, maybe. I don't know. But that's just the way I see it. Anyway, this tank, holy cow. Let's just take a quick look at it here. I'm going to call it up onto the screen here. Here it is. And now let me stand by while I do this comparison thing. All right. So here's the thing, and I'll just talk about the numbers. You can't see them, but you're looking at the object numbers right here. 440 damage. The pen is base 256, which is about as good as anything base. That's a medium or a heavy. I included mediums and heavies on my little comparison here because it's kind of medium-esque with heavy armor. It really is. It's got 50 kilometers an hour. That's as fast as a lot of the mediums. Slightly less than some. It has a specific power of 17. It's actually better, or at least comparable to a T10 with a bunch more armor and an autoloader. The autoloader is 21.8 seconds for a complete reload. 28, yeah, let that sink in. 28.1, 3 shells, 440 alpha, 318 armor penetration with APCR. That competes with a lot of tier 9's heat penetration. Never mind APCR penetration. It's not the top, but remember it's an autoloader with a clip potential, and it is not gimped at all with armor penetration. In fact, it's better than a bunch of them. Slightly worse than a few that have notable penetrations, I think, like the Emil is an example. And it's an autoloader. Did I mention it's an autoloader? Guess what its elevation is? It's depression, -8. It doesn't even have that weakness. The armor, 330 on the turret. It's an oscillating turret, right? Oscillating turret with 330 millimeters of armor, and I'm assuming that's this piece right here. Look how thick that is. If that's just pure armor, then that's the thing that the oscillating turret is connected to. I'm wondering if this pivot point's less armor. But in any event, the profile of straight on, which is what we do in World of Tanks and hold down, it's got unbelievably good armor. It's not quite the round turret, but it's a lot of armor. The hull sitting at 180, which is about as good as any heavy tank. As a matter of fact, if I look over here, you can't see it, but the 705, which is the one I brought up there, is 155 on the hull armor. And this thing's 180. The 705's turret, by the way, is 300, and it's top in the class, at least amongst the tanks that I selected. 300. Never mind that. We have 330. Oh, this is awesome. Like I said, specific horsepower, specific power at 17.4. I looked at some of those as well. I'm thinking, well, it's 50. It does 50, but maybe it's slow off the line. Not necessarily. Not necessarily. And what was interesting on that is I immediately started, when I looked at this, I immediately started thinking of how sad the T-54E1 is. And I realized that's a medium and this is a heavy. But the differences between the two could not be more stark as far as capability goes. The T-54E1 has atrocious penetration. That used to be the hallmark of a lot of the autoloaders. They had bad penetration. If they had good penetration, they had really long reloads, a la the 5100. And I realize the reload is tied to number of shells in the clip as well. That's important as well. But this one doesn't live with any of those problems. He has a 21-second reload. He has only 3 shells, which makes his reload faster, and his pen is really good. Basically, I'm surprised it doesn't have the Italian-style autoloading, to be quite honest. The IS-3 does. I did not read that it had it. That would make me laugh a lot if we found out this had the Italian-style autoloading or the IS-3-style autoloading. Hold on to your hats, folks. I mean, who knows? So the top speed is 50. A lot of these tanks here, you can't see it, but they're all in the 50s to 60s. So all that armor does not seem to bother it too much. So there you go. The object, the magic object 752. Don't know, man. Arms race. The arms race is definitely cooking along, guys. It is absolutely cooking along. Where will it end? Round and round it goes. Where it stops, nobody knows. I don't know. I don't know. All right, so there you go. Crazy stuff, man. Crazy stuff. We'll turn that off. Go back to the garage here. And we've got Halloween canceled. There's a couple articles on that. It was kind of a mea culpa moment. They did come out. They did say, look, we just couldn't get it done. They're fairly honest about it. Harkonnen made a good point on his blog. Said, well, that's all well and good, but why did it take you up to like Halloween Day to say anything about it? Everyone knew that was what was happening. How, did you think it was actually going to all of a sudden, you know, come out of thin air? To be fair, they may have actually been working on it and right up to the end thinking, well, yeah, we can do it, and then just couldn't get there. But I feel like they probably knew this for a long time. And I agree with Harkonnen to a large extent on this. They probably should have let us know earlier. Personally, I don't really care for Halloween, even though my birthday is on Halloween. I never have really liked Halloween, to be quite honest. Didn't bother me. The other little modes, I don't do too much of them anyway. But I'm sure it bothered a lot of people because they enjoy that stuff. And they like Halloween and they would like the mode. But for me, it's more a case of the communication, which I talk about a lot here. Wouldn't it be nice if they'd have told us a little sooner? But I don't think it's anything to go too crazy about. It's just another drop in the bucket, I guess. Speaking of drops in the bucket, here's a good one. And I was going through the forums for this one, and I thought, yeah, you know what? That's a good point. The guy was asking, where's the promised rewards to make up for the missed ranks season? Season. Remember that? Remember when they canceled ranked because we didn't have enough people? We didn't get to do it, and then we were told we'd have a chance to get the rewards, and poof, no chance. I haven't done the math. Maybe you guys have. Potentially within the rewards we have, they've added bonds for us for NA. I don't know. But I'm not sure. It'd take a little bit of research to get into it. But I'm curious if our 2 seasons, the total bonds and things we can get is the same as having done 3 seasons, but I don't think it is. I really don't think it is. And it's actually a little bit harder for us to get the reward tank, from what I can tell. All they did was reduce it from 10, I want to say from 10 to 9 tokens or whatever they're called to get it. You know, that I don't understand that, man. Where is that just going to go down the memory hole? We're just going to ignore that was ever said? Or is it a case of somebody said something that wasn't blessed by the home drone, and now they can't get it done? I don't know. Very strange. All right, going back to going positive, guys. Bottom line, I enjoy this game. Have for a very long time, and I will continue to do so. I want to thank you guys for your support. I get to sit here on Sunday and drink some coffee and make some videos and talk about World Tanks. You guys send me in videos, and I can check out gameplay, learn stuff myself, help people learn how to play the game, all that good stuff. Get a little bit of compensation along the way, which is nice, and just pretty much enjoy myself. So if you want to win that round Panzer, then go over to yesterday's video, the Saturday video, and put down what you like about World of Tanks. The one thing. Don't put it on this one, because I won't be looking on this one for that mission. That happens all the time. I'll say something like that, and then all of a sudden I'll get the response will be here, or it will be in the UI or something like that. Try to follow directions, fellas. Come on. That is all I've got for Coffee Talk. Got a lot of coffee left, so maybe I'll play a few games before it's... Let's see, what time is it? 7:44. Yep, so it's going on to 8. So really, I can't start mowing for another hour, right? Is that about right? Yeah, I think another hour before I really start mowing. Maybe I should give my neighbors until noon. Should I give my neighbors until noon? I think I'm going to give my neighbors until noon. Till moon. Till noon. All right, guys, I am out. See ya. Thanks for the support. If you want a way to support the channel, it's down there in the description. Later.